Hello everybody and welcome back to Basics. I am your host, the Crazy Uncle. Today we're continuing our series on cold weather survival techniques. Now this one is going to be if you got to bug in, or as I like to call it, prepare for the storm. Because guess what, if you're up north, or if you're visiting your friends up north, or if you're house sitting up north, guess what, you might lose power when it's cold out. Guess what, blizzards knock down power. So, here's what you got to do to be ready, okay? And as long as you understand these techniques and all this, you should be fine. But you might need to purchase a few extra small items, and I'll go over that in a second. Alright, first thing, for yourself, you're going to need layers. If you saw one of my previous videos, you know all about that. Layers of clothes, okay? 1 or 2 layers of clothes, and you should be fine. On top of that, you're going to need blankets, and a lot of them. Alright, this is very important. If you don't have an extra heat source, blankets are going to be key. Now, one of the odd things to keep you warm, a lot of people don't think of, is if you have a dog. Like, I don't mean a dog. If it's smaller than a football, it's not a dog, at least not to me. Now, most dogs don't mind curling up with you at night. And guess what? That's another form of heat. Okay? So, you want all this, and you want to, like I said, keep animals close. Now, you can actually use a small propane heater in the same room as you. Just remember, the small heaters, most of them are only designed for a room. They're not designed for a house. This is important. They're only designed for a room, not a house. So, if all you have is like a loft apartment, one of those little heaters with the small canisters on it that are actually, about the size of a football, they're good for about 6 to 10 hours, depending on what level you have it on. I should know, I have one of these. But you can hook them up to an actual large propane canister, and that thing will go for days, like several days if you only have it on low. Alright, but you won't even have to worry about this top section if you have wood heating. Okay, most people don't have this anymore, but if you were able to get yourself a wood stove, an actual wood stove, not a fireplace, and I'll go over that in a minute, but a good wood stove, it will keep your house and yourself going. Now, a fireplace, even though I prefer it being a stove, can help you out. It will heat up that room you're in. You're going to need, though, like I said, wood, a lot of wood. Because most of you are going to get that fire roaring, and you're going to blow through a lot of wood. So if you do have a fireplace, make sure your wood is fully stocked. If you're worried about any type of insects or anything like that, you can get Decon for freaking rats. You can get freaking insect repellent or whatever for the bugs, if you're worried about that. But there, as far as your own person goes, that's all you have to do. It's not crazy. It's not, you don't have to go all over. Now, as far as the house goes, that's a bigger concern. Alright, one of the first things you have to worry about is lighting. Now, 2 ways you can go about this. You can either get one of the very wide candles there that they sell, or the little tea lights. They're only about this wide, and they're only about that high. Now, those will burn for a long, they're not going to put out a lot of light, but it's enough to get you around. Okay, you can move around. You will be able to see enough to get you around. Just remember, it is a fire hazard, so don't have anything too close with that is combustible. If you have it sitting on a granite countertop, obviously that's not going to burn. It's a rock. Okay, and you also have electric forms of light. These can be flashlights. These can be lanterns. These can be whatever the hell you want. And yes, you could get a Coleman lantern. Yes, those are good. I personally am more along the lines of electric lanterns, even though if my dad busts out the old Coleman lantern, I'm never throwing that thing away. So, lighting, okay, because you can't do anything if it's in the middle of the night. All you can do is sit there and shiver if you can't see what the hell you're doing. Alright, I got here propane and wood heating, okay. Now, I did put on there not a fireplace, and here's the reason why. Now, propane heater, unless you have one that's omnidirectional, that sprays out in every single direction, it is not going to heat up more than just that room. Those omnidirectional ones, they even once you have them on one of the large containers of propane, they're only going to burn for a few hours. You can only turn it on for a couple hours, get the area nice and warm, turn it off, and save it for later. Ration that because you don't know how long it is. What you're trying to do at that point is save the pipes. So you got to get down in the basement to heat those pipes up before they just blow open. And they will literally explode open. It's not pretty, and it takes a lot of money to get those things fixed if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, but a wood burning stove will heat up more than just the house, or more than just the room. It is, again, omnidirectional, but it's not going to run out like the propane. As long as you keep feeding that fire, it's going to keep going. And I should know, I grew up in a house, and a small rant alert here. We had a blizzard come through when I was a kid. Our power was out for like 8 or 9 days. We had zero problems. We had that wood stove rocking. We cooked on it. It heated the whole house to like 90 degrees. At one point we had to open the doors. It was so hot in there. It was crazy. It was awesome. All we did was play in the snow all day, and we came into a nice hot house. It was freaking great. So, wood stove, okay? Wood fireplace will only heat that one room. And it's very well noted that every other place in the house will actually lose heat. Okay, the heat is not going to radiate out. If anything, it's going to start drawing heat in. Not sure why the thermodynamics work that way. It's kind of weird. I wish somebody's dog would shut up. Now, that's as far as the house goes. Again, all you're trying to do is protect the pipes. Make sure you can see. Anything beyond that minimal survival, we're not going to go into. I'm sure there are other channels that would take this and go, you know what else you need to do? By all means, do that, please. I'm all for it. Just make sure people know where you started from. So, I do have to say this though. If you're watching, I would like the likes, and I would like the subscribes. Why? Because this channel's barely getting going right now. And it would be nice to actually get monetized so that I could actually, do some more than just write on a whiteboard. So anyway, I hope this helped you out, especially if you're moving from the south to the north. Keep this in mind, and you won't have any problems. All you have to do is be a little bored. But we'll talk about, it's actually in one of my other videos about when bugging in and bugging out with family. Go ahead and search that one. I'm sure it'll come up. But for right now, this is your crazy uncle speaking. I'm out.